Look at this busy city street. White taxis roll through traffic, while motorcycles weave between lanes. All of these machines are vehicles, tools built with a specific purpose, to carry people and goods from one place to another. Some vehicles are built for heavier work. Here, a large blue lorry takes on a massive load of green matoke bananas. Without heavy transport like this, moving a harvest from a village farm to a town market would be difficult and slow. To talk accurately about what these different machines own or hold, we use a simple rule in English. If we are talking about one single vehicle, we use the word has. We say, the taxi has a full load of passengers. If we are talking about many vehicles together, we switch to have. We say, the motorcycles have 2 wheels. Whether carrying a single rider or a season's harvest, a vehicle relies on a complex system of interconnected parts to do its job safely. When every part does its job, the journey continues.
Think of a vehicle like a living body. It has an anatomy. Every metal, rubber, and glass piece has a specific, necessary job to keep the machine moving. Look at this diagram of a car splitting apart to reveal its core components. Deep inside is the engine, which creates the physical power to move. Beneath the car are the tires, thick rubber rings that grip the road. And inside the cabin is the steering wheel, the round part the driver turns to control the vehicle's direction. As the diagram rotates to show the exterior, we see parts designed to keep everyone safe. The windscreen protects the driver from dust and weather, while the wipers clear away rain. Headlamps light up dark roads at night, and the brakes provide the friction needed to safely slow down or stop the massive weight of the car. Not all vehicles look like cars, of course. In this image, a man transports his bananas on a bicycle. A bicycle has no engine or windscreen. Instead, the rider uses pedals and a chain to generate power and handlebars to steer. But the goal remains exactly the same: movement and control. Precise vocabulary allows us to describe exactly how a machine works and where it has failed, before a single tool is even picked up. Imagine a taxi packed with fresh food, traveling toward a market. A sudden impact with a sharp bump in the road causes a tire to instantly lose its air. In seconds, the journey comes to a halt. This brings us to a critical distinction. Maintenance is the regular care you give a working vehicle, like checking tire pressure, to prevent problems. Repair is the act of fixing a part after it has already broken. Because vehicles are heavy machines, safety is non-negotiable. To express strong rules, we use the words must and mustn't. A responsible driver must check their vehicle before starting a trip, and a driver mustn't, meaning they must not, continue to drive on a flat tire. To save the food from spoiling, the driver pulls the taxi into a roadside garage. As we see in this photo, local repair spots are busy places, with mechanics tilting heavy truck cabins forward to access the broken parts inside. When maintenance is skipped or bad luck strikes, the journey stops. Our livelihoods and physical safety depend entirely on finding a mechanic who can diagnose the problem and perform a swift, accurate repair. A mechanic cannot fix a vehicle with their bare hands. They rely on a toolbox filled with specialized equipment, where every single tool is shaped to solve a specific mechanical problem. Take a look at this cross-section of a car jack in action. It is a compact piece of equipment that slides under the heavy metal frame of a vehicle and slowly extends upward. It lifts a massive amount of weight so the mechanic can safely work underneath. We explain the reason for using a tool by using the word if to set up a condition. For example, if the tire is flat, the mechanic will use a car jack. Once the car is lifted, we explain the specific goal of the next tool using the phrase "in order to." Watch the action on the wheel. We say, the mechanic uses a spanner in order to loosen the tight metal nuts holding the tire in place. The toolbox holds solutions for every part of the vehicle. There are screwdrivers for turning threaded screws, thick metal pliers for bending and cutting wire, and electrical testers to track down invisible faults in the wiring. These tools turn difficult physical tasks, like lifting 2 tons of steel or loosening a rusted nut, into manageable steps. Sometimes a repair requires reaching deep inside the machine. In this photo, mechanics use spanners to tighten bolts inside a heavy engine. Mechanical repair also relies on using thick grease and liquid oil to coat every moving part.
This lubrication creates a smooth barrier, stopping metal from scraping against metal and preventing heat and friction from damaging the engine. When a repair is successfully finished, we talk about the completed action using the present perfect tense. If one person did the job, we combine has with the action. We say, the mechanic has repaired the engine. If a team worked together, we switch to have. We say, they have replaced the flat tire. The action is finished and the problem is solved. The correct application of tools and knowledge restores the vehicle's power, bringing individual parts back together as a working system. With the repair complete, the taxi returns to the road and successfully delivers its cargo. Looking down at this crowded taxi park, you can see hundreds of vehicles that have safely completed their journeys. Let's review the connections we've made. We know that a spanner connects to a metal nut, a car jack connects to a flat tire, and liquid oil connects to engine gears. We also learned the language to describe these actions. We use must and mustn't to set firm rules for safety. We use if to describe the condition of a broken part, and in order to explain the purpose of the tools we grab to fix it. By combining mechanical knowledge with the English language to explain it, we stay prepared to handle the unexpected and keep Uganda's transport network running safely.